Welcome back. In Broome County, children were educated with fun crafts today at the Discovery Center for Indigenous Peoples and Columbus Day. 12 News' Aaron Lawler spoke with staff and volunteers and shares why educating the youth is important to them.
From corn to compasses and Three Sisters mosaic, through art, children are learning the meaning of Indigenous Peoples Day at the Discovery Center.
They were here before we were all here. And it's important to learn that side of American history, just like we learn about all the world wars and revolutions and everything. In my opinion, it's equal to them.
Volunteers at Monday's event say although they are also celebrating Columbus Day, it is important to start teaching people young the history behind Indigenous land as well.
Initially it was just Columbus Day, but now adding on like the actual history to it, I feel like helping continue that rhetoric is very important.
And learning through art is an easy way to involve younger kids in that process.
It's a great way for them to be able to express themselves while also learning about different cultures and different heritages. Yeah.
More events are coming to the Discovery Center this month, including their annual Hollow Weekend event. Aaron Lawler, 12 News, Broome County.